Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Emergency Action Planning Broadcast System. I'm Daniel Kilburn. I'm with my friend here, Ghamdan, today. And Ghamdan is a very special individual because he has a very unique focus on assisting and helping people with type 2 diabetes. And so we're going to have a talk with Ghamdan today and see how this affects people in emergency situations and some of the things that they might be able to do to protect themselves. So Ghamdan, tell me, how did you first get into this? What brought you into this type of business or industry?
My name is Ghamdan. I'm a holistic wellness coach. I help people with type 2 diabetes achieve diabetes remission and avoid complications so they can live a happier, healthier, and longer life. I got into the health and wellness industry as a response to my own health experience or story.
Okay.
I was suffering from different symptoms or health issues such as excessive snoring, chest pain, constant headaches, joint pain, and I was overweight as well.
Okay.
So from there, then I got into the health and wellness.
Well, that sounds very interesting. And you like to help other people now because it's very unique that you found a way to help yourself first, right? And then now you're reaching out to try to help other people. What brought you to there? I mean, you obviously most people are very myopically focused on to get me fixed first, right? But you managed that apparently because you don't look overweight, that's for sure. And now you're reaching out and helping other people. And so, what is it that brought that part of your process into play?
I got passionate about health and wellness when I saw the results.
Okay.
That when I managed to overcome all the symptoms or the health issues that I faced, then that inspired me to help others. I started learning about health and nutrition, then fitness, about sleep, about different aspects of healthy lifestyle changes that a person can make.
Okay.
So I started helping people by giving them some advice about nutrition. That was the starting point of just to provide some sort of help. When I was studying nutrition, I used to take some notes, small notes, then post them on social media. Just it's like short sentences from the course, then share them straight away, just fresh. From them then I wanted to do something like sustainable, something can have a long impact on people's lives. I tried providing some health food products like superfoods, food supplements, and other things. That's how I progressed until now. I'm focusing on.
So you continue with that. You continue pushing information out for people, and so based on what you do now, do you see that there's a big, not purpose, it's obviously a purpose, but a big outreach? What's the population base? Do you think that people have diabetes? I mean, out of 10 people, how many people have diabetes?
When I looked at some stats, they were estimated something over 443 or 45 millions.
Okay.
So you can say nearly half
that's-
a billion.
Right. That's not a small number.
Yeah, and in diabetes management, you will find that some people may have type 2 diabetes, but they are not diagnosed.
Right. They might not even know it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Only if they had like a test or something like that, so they will know for sure that they have this kind of health issue.
So that is an implication there. If people have type 2 diabetes and they don't know it, that means they're probably not going to the doctor enough and getting exams or getting blood work done, and they're basically ignoring their health. Is that it?
Some people don't take a proactive action.
Mm-hmm.
So they wait until they start seeing like some health issues.
Right.
They might have like they might have like consistent thirst. So they drink lots of water, or they feel thirsty. Lots, I mean, more than usual.
Okay, so you said that thirst is a one thing there. I mean, you just can't be hot outside and thirsty, but there might be some other implications there. Are there any other check marks or a list, so to speak, we can look at if I was a person who was at risk for diabetes? Well, first, let's go there. What kind of people are actually at risk for diabetes that maybe should look into it to find out if they have it?
If you can just rephrase the question, so I didn't get your
Okay,
point.
at risk. It's a certain group of people would be considered at risk for having diabetes, right? So how would we determine if I was an at-risk person, but I didn't know if I had diabetes? What could I do? And what is what quantifies somebody to be at risk for having diabetes?
Okay. First, there are many risk factors to have diabetes. Some of them, like age, for example.
Okay.
Lifestyle. If you have a sedentary lifestyle, is going to be nutrition as well. History, like a family history.
Okay.
Genetic, environment. I mean, this like factors contribute for the to have this health condition.
Okay. So if somebody fits basically what I hear is age, sedentary lifestyle, type of diet. So if you're eating sugar a lot, probably, I'm thinking out loud here. Sage, sedentary lifestyle, possibly genetics, if there's a history of diabetes in your family. Yeah. So if I have any of those markers, let's say, is there any way I can find out if I have it without going to a doctor? Can I go back to the local pharmacy and pick up a little, you might have diabetes kit?
If you measure there is a test called A1C.
Okay.
A1C, they measure the average blood sugar. So they measure the average glucose in the blood sugar. I mean, in the blood.
Okay.
So from there, you can see the range. There is, if you are like 4.6, I think, and over and up to 5.3. This is what's called a normal range.
Okay.
But if you start going over that, over 5.3, then you are pre-diabetic.
Okay. So,
Then after that, you are diabetic.
so correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is the body needs glucose, sugar, to run itself. It's like fuel, gasoline, right?
Yeah, that is for energy. Yeah, that's right.
So why would we have too much? Yeah, I mean, well, I can imagine if you've got the car filled up with the gas and you're sitting on the couch all day long, it's not using the gas, right? I got that. But is there any other thing that makes us hold more of that sugar within our system than we should?
The problem with the sugar is to have too much sugar in the blood.
Okay.
So then the blood sugar becomes high in our body. Having a high blood sugar levels can cause serious health issues
Okay.
like heart disease, for example, blurred vision, kidney issues. So it's a serious condition.
Okay.
So
if someone has these conditions, then it's identified. Now we can go to the doctor, and the doctor's going to probably give us medications of some sort to try to lower that. But you're a holistic wellness individual. It's a little different. So what do you do that's different than maybe the medical field would do to assist a person to lower their A1C?
yeah, the role of a coach or a health coach is to provide support for a person who is suffering from type 2 diabetes, hold them accountable, help them to navigate through this disease or health condition. So the medical doctor has his own role, is to save lives. So as we mentioned, if we keep having high blood sugar levels, so a person can be at risk, for example, heart disease or nerve damage, kidney disease. So medications that prescribed helps to control these, but it's not like a solution. So here where the health wellness and the health and wellness coach, the role of the health and wellness coach comes here is to look at how you can support a person through lifestyle changes.
Okay,
like
so
number one,
so don't ignore medical stuff. In other words, like what I hear you saying, though, basically is you're a medical professional is one part of the solution,
yeah,
and someone like you is another part of the solution, right? So if somebody comes to the conclusion or determines that they need that help, don't ignore the doctor, right?
no,
Okay.
they need I look at doctors as lives savers.
Okay. So
Yeah.
looking into this whole concept and like disaster management or emergency situations, how are things maybe a little different? I mean, if our life is just going normal the way it normally is, we might have a system in place to help us. But if something happens to remove that system, how can we manage it? What can we do to bring ourselves back on track?
First, as mentioned, we need, or people with type 2 diabetes need to be proactive about managing the health condition or diabetes.
Okay.
So they need to take proactive actions. In emergencies, for example, things happen quickly. So you don't have options to work out things and prepare. So first things, a person with type 2 diabetes in, for example, a natural disaster
Okay.
can face many challenges. Like his or her routine will be disrupted, either like the healthcare, the nutrition side, the physical activity will be disrupted when you have a disaster.
Okay.
So, and second thing is, what to say, just imagine that you don't have access to insulin or test strips
Okay.
or glucose meters, because what happens like quickly. So that's why it's good to prepare for the worst scenario. So that doesn't mean just if you are living, I mean, in your city or near a town, maybe when you are traveling, an emergency can happen anywhere and anytime.
No, you could just lose your luggage that has all that stuff in it for you, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things we can do to protect ourselves if we are in that type of situation? How can we manage that?
First, they need to know that things can go wrong. Either if they are living, I mean, they are settled in the city, or
Right.
or even they are traveling.
Okay.
So, planning and preparation is key for this type of situation.
Okay. So how do we plan and prepare for it? What do we do?
Like if you have got medications or diabetes supplies, like blood test strips,
Okay.
glucose meter. So you need to have something in place for emergency.
Okay. So in other words, have more than one. Have the one at home that you probably normally have, and then have one in your emergency kit or your bug out bag just in case you have to go fast.
That's
And
right.
you can grab it with you, right?
Yeah, they need to store something for emergency. Especially if someone like traveling a lot for like a business travel or visit. So
Okay.
they might need a bag with him all the time. For a travel, especially traveling, I mean, there can be like luggages. You can put them in like where you load your stuff, and you have your own bag, so you can have something with you for emergency. You don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes what can cause, if you are, especially if you are like in a stressful situation, this can cause, I mean, rise the stress hormone, which cause high blood sugar levels. It can even happen like when you have, I mean, like the disaster, the emergency, when it happens, it causes sort of stress for a person or for a family.
So, well, just a second now. You say so being under stress for some reason can raise your blood sugar?
Yeah, stress contribute to having a high blood sugar levels because of cortisol, the stress hormone.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So in other words, you want to stay as unstressed as you possibly can, even in a stressful situation.
Yeah, exactly. When you talk about emergency, you're talking about stress or a stressful situation. And
Well,
imagine that.
But by being prepared, that lowers the stress level. By knowing what to do and having the tools in hand will lower your stress level, right? Or we think it
Exactly.
would. Okay.
Exactly. Like when they train people, when you have a big building or something, they train them how to live in case of emergency or a fire.
Right.
So they train them. So when something happens, so they know what to do. That's what people need to know. They need to prepare physically and even mentally.
Okay.
So they don't get distracted, and they don't know what to do. It's better just to know if something happens, so I'm going to do this. My things are there. I mean, mentally and physically. Physical
So in other
things.
words, just
Yeah,
have some prior planning, have an understanding of what you might need to do just in case, right?
that's right.
All right, fantastic. So now, I was looking at your website. You have this wonderful website called Wellness Impact. A lot of information on that. Can you talk to me about that? Can you tell me that way for the people who are listening, maybe they can go there, check something out. What would you recommend that somebody does if they want to go look at your website?
I have the website is created uh, to present the business, number one, and provide information for the audience, for people with type 2 diabetes, and in the health industry in general. I have created a wellness challenge, 7-day wellness challenge there, to help people manage their diabetes or improve blood sugar levels. So if every day, if they sign for that challenge, so they will receive a challenge every day. So the first challenge will be about mindset, about nutrition. The second one will be about physical activity. The third one about medications. The fourth one about sleep, about stress. Then there is a bonus email which is about mindset.
So
So
certain building
mindset is
blocks,
key.
right?
Yeah.
Is there like certain building blocks that a person can put together to help themselves with their?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
like to understand, to give them an idea what the foundations of health would be if they want to take a holistic approach.
Okay, so now one thing I can rationalize that a person who comes to that position where they get type 2 diabetes, well, is that something you get as you're growing up? Are you born with it? Is that something, is anybody ever born with type 2 diabetes, or is it something that gets developed in your life because of your lifestyle?
About 90 to 95% of diabetes is type 2.
Okay.
You can say 5% is type 1. That is, you can say, genetic.
Okay.
For type 1, the person or the body, I mean, the pancreas cannot produce insulin. So they are insulin dependent. So they depend on insulin.
Right.
But the majority are type 2. There are another percentage for, I mean, for pregnant women. So during this time, she will have another type of diabetes, but this is a small percentage. But the majority will be about 90 to 95%. So most of it comes from what we eat, the lifestyle that we follow, when we don't exercise. I mean, even sleep is something people overlook at it.
Okay, so
So
sounds to me like type 2 diabetes in general is something that we create for ourselves somehow. I mean, in essence, that's what you're saying. It's not something that just suddenly pops up, right? It takes time, and because of, like you said, our lifestyle in general is what makes it happen to us, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's the way we live can have a significant impact on it
Okay,
or
so
on
let's
us.
say I have type 2 diabetes and I recognize the fact and I would like to help myself. All right. But I've been living this lifestyle, which is a habitual thing, right? It's kind of hard to change a habit. Where's a good place to start? What can I do to get at least the ball rolling in that right direction?
Number one is going to be mindset. So you
Okay.
need to have the right mindset. From my connection and being in some community groups for type 2 diabetes, I have noticed different things there. Some of them, like, they continue to their journey to overcome the complications or the struggles that come from diabetes. Some people might say, "This is life. That's how things can be. So I don't have control." So it's like they give up. So
Okay.
they accept they can live with it.
Okay. So you said there's groups. I never knew about this. Is there like type 2 diabetes groups in most communities? Like if I wanted to go look one up, can I go to Uncle Google and say, find a type 2 diabetes group near me or something like that? Or how's that work?
Either you can join diabetes groups or community in Facebook, or they are outside the social media network. So like private community where you get support as well.
Okay, but that's
So
the big thing,
people can
support, right?
support each other.
Right. But getting that support and that accountability is very crucial, isn't it?
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, it can make a big difference.
Okay, so let's go back to the mindset thing. You mentioned just briefly, just a moment ago, that some people get into a point where they say, well, I can't do anything about it. This is just the way it is. I'm going to live with it. I'm just going to have to suffer. But that's not really true, because it doesn't matter who you are, or where you are, you can do something about it, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
But it's you can do things. I mean, diabetes, it can be difficult and challenging. But if you have got the knowledge and the right mindset, so you can overcome the challenges that come with diabetes.
So it's about possibility that somebody can, if they choose to do so, overcome the problem, right?
Exactly. I can give you one story. For example, a
Okay.
person, a lady, shared a post in the group that I am a member in. Said, after a year, I managed to reverse type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
Then I asked her, how did you do it? And I congratulated her for the success. And she said she fixed two things: her diet, and she started to exercise. And it took her about 1 year.
Okay. But it can be done. And she's proof, living proof that
Yes,
it can be done, right?
yeah. But if she had the mindset, that's it, and just live with it. Just I will keep having medications and going. So she would continue the same way, but because she took a different approach, she managed to overcome diabetes, not just challenges, to reverse diabetes. The word reverse, it can trigger sort of argument in the diabetes community, but from stories you can find out that people can achieve success.
So isn't I'm just trying to think, if there was the one goal, the whole goal is to lower that A1C level and keep it low on a consistent basis, right?
The main goal is to keep your blood sugar levels is a symptoms.
Okay.
It is not the health care.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not it's a symptoms for something else, for insulin resistance.
Okay, so it's just a symptom. Okay, so we want to treat the issue itself, not just the symptom, right?
Yeah, but that's why, because blood sugar is what people know. It's about the blood sugar levels. Yeah, you need to reduce the blood sugar levels, and as well to have good level, you can say, of insulin in the body. It's diabetes is what's called a metabolic health issue.
Okay.
So blood sugar levels is just a symptoms what is well known, but the hardest thing is or the difficult side of it is having insulin resistance.
Right.
When the body produces insulin or more insulin, but the cell doesn't allow insulin to enter.
Oh, okay. Somehow
Yes,
it's
for
bouncing
energy.
off.
Yes, then
Okay.
you will have like high blood sugar levels or high level insulin level. So yes, you need to reduce both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And if it goes below, which is called low sugar levels, that is something different. People might feel like weak, shivering, something like that.
okay. So
Yeah.
now if somebody wanted to follow up with you or find more information, they can go to your website and learn a bunch of stuff. And is there any way people can get a hold of you? Now, I noticed you do like a free coaching sessions with people. Why don't you tell us about that? How does that work for people?
There's two things. First, if someone needs support with type 2 diabetes, they can reach to me at wellnessimpact.org.
Okay.
So for your own audience, I'm offering only 3 people within 4 weeks from next week.
Okay.
So 3 people can apply for 1 hour coaching session. And the reason for this session is to gain clarity about diabetes and blood sugar levels and what is their next step or action. So they will get something from it.
Okay, so I have a place that goes to your website, wellness/ or hyphen
Wellness
challenge.
Impact. Yeah, wellnessimpact.org. From there, they can just they can book a call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Book a call, and then how are they going to let you know that they heard you from this here?
I think there is a section there. When you book a call, there is a section to say, how did you find us or how did you find me? So they can just add a reference there.
So they can just make a reference if they saw you on this interview, and that's how they got a hold of you.
Exactly.
All
That's
right. So you hear that, folks. First three people, get online there, go
Yeah,
book that call.
within 4 weeks
Within 4 weeks.
next
Yeah,
week.
but don't take all 4 weeks. Do it now. Come on, kids. What are you
Yeah.
waiting for? All right. Ghamdan, I appreciate your coming on and sharing your information with me. I know we're at two different way big time zones here. It's morning for me here and it's evening for you there, I'm sure. So is there anything we haven't covered? Is there anything that we have missed or something special that you would like to bring up that we might not have touched on?
I think we just touched the surface just to give people some insights and ideas that they can look at. So the main goal is not like just to provide more details about the diabetes, just to raise a concern about the diabetes and what can happen during a natural disaster or when you are traveling, for example. People need to be proactive and to plan things ahead.
Okay, so you hear that, people. You got to be proactive. We already know that. If you're watching this interview, you're a proactive type of person anyway, so that's a plus. So it's like continue with that role, continue moving forward. If you're a person that wants to speak about it, go and talk to Ghamdan at wellnessimpact.org. There's a place in there you can go book a consult. You can make sure you put in there that you saw him here at the emergency action planning interview. So Ghamdan, thank you very much for joining me today. And I know you probably have things you got to do tonight. We have to get on with our day here. So thank you. And
thank you for having me, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to your audience. Thank you.
That's great. It's my pleasure. All right, folks, you all take care. We're out of here. Hello there. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and take advantage of our limited time special offer at www.eapready.com.